Meowdy from Ollie, Jake, and Evan. We are back, dude. This is monumental. First guest, and honestly, I couldn't tell you how long. Jake, much appreciated having you here. Hope you're excited to be here.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad to be here. It's been a minute since we've done a pod together. We had
Well,
some good ones in the past. I think the last one we did was ranking the worst sports teams.
yeah, and see how that aged. Dan Campbell was on that list, and now he's not in the football playoff.
Yeah, no, talk about it. And I just saw a video the other day talking from Nick Saban talking about how he wanted to go get Drew Brees that summer in free agency, and the physician was like, "No, he can't pass a physical." One of the biggest what ifs in history.
I think you sent me that, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about Nick Saban and that Dolphin team at one point. And I think we even mentioned like Drew Brees had gone or almost gone there, but like the logistics of the physical and that I had no idea. I mean, Nick Saban,
Yeah,
honestly, like I'm not a Bama fan, and we briefly chatted about this off camera, but like he might be the GOAT in terms of football coaches.
absolutely. I mean, when you look at it, he didn't necessarily have the highest level of success in the NFL, but he had the option or the opportunity there where he could have taken Drew Brees and who knows what would have happened. But then you go and you look at him before the NFL, he was at LSU, he won a natty there. And then
Hmm.
afterwards, Alabama, and the rest is history.
Dude, yeah, I mean, you mentioned like lack of success in the NFL, and I feel like that's partially probably like ownership problems. Like he had let him know about Drew Brees, no different than I hate to throw your Giants in the mix, but like the kid during
Yeah.
like his dad as like the I don't know what his dad's job was, but he
His
was like,
his
"Who do I
dad's the
take here?"
general
He's like,
manager, so
"Yeah."
yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
"You're stupid if you don't take Jaden Daniels," and he
Oh,
doesn't.
absolutely.
He
I mean,
doesn't take him.
yeah, hindsight is 2020, but it's the kind of shitty thing where the Giants just absolutely would not have had a single shot of getting Jaden Daniels because New England wasn't going to move, Washington wasn't going to move, Bears weren't going to move. It just comes down to the fact that the Giants won a couple of games at the end of the season before last where they just shouldn't have won those games. Would have had a better pick, better team.
Yeah, honestly, I'm praying for y'all. That division is on the ups. Like they were, Danny Dimes like 2 years ago was worthy of that contract extension. I mean, I thought
Absolutely.
I thought
Yeah,
y'all were going to be three
I think
team
his biggest
powerhouse.
downfall was tearing his ACL the season after that playoff run. He just wasn't the same after that. Too timid, couldn't really put weight into his throws, just fell apart. And that was like the second of his big like major injuries.
I feel bad for him, honestly. Like maybe he didn't eat his Wheaties or something like that, but like from like the end of when basically they were coming to terms with like Danny, you're not the solution. He's like, I know I'm not. It just
Hmm.
basically was like, wave me, dude. Like no
Yeah,
hard feelings. Like it's a business decision at the end of the day. Um,
they handled that well. I mean, as well as they could have.
I mean, he's a better backup than Stetson Bennett for sure. So hopefully
Yeah.
he at least has a place in the NFL.
Honestly, though, I don't think the Giants are all too far off from being able to compete in the NFC East, especially with Dallas hiring that Schottenheimer guy as their new head coach. Oh my God, what is
Wait,
Jerry Jones doing?
they hired a head. When did that
Yeah,
happen?
I think it was just last week they promoted their offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer to head coach.
Okay. Bold when you clearly don't get any of the candidates you want, so you just settle for in house, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I let me double check this real quick, but I do believe Brian Schottenheimer is related to legendary NFL head coach Marty Schottenheimer. I'll have to
Mm.
double check that. I mean, obviously the last name is the same. Yeah, yeah, it's his son Brian
That's
Schottenheimer is the
crazy.
son.
Dude, honestly, hot take, but they fucked up firing Kellen Moore because he would have been a lot better of a promotion to HC at this point.
Absolutely, and now he's
The
just
dude is
tearing it
he's
up
an
in Philly.
offensive genius.
Oh yeah, I mean, and to play in the NFL for as long as he did, even if you're just a backup, you're going to get a lot of, experience on the bench, learning the game, coaching experience. It's going to be good for you in the long run.
The timing was also perfect. I mean, look at Boise State and Genty. I mean,
Yeah,
Kellen Moore is a Boise State alumni. Like, put them on the mat, give them the credibility of making that college
absolutely.
football
Yeah.
playoff kind of vibe. Like,
And
honestly,
now
I want to
Kellen
see him
Moore.
join a different conference.
Yeah. And now more and the Eagles are in the Super Bowl.
That's exactly right. I feel like that's where the hype comes to Kellen Moore because they're now in the Super Bowl. They're like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, like it's not just Sirianni calling plays. Like they have an OC who knows what he's doing
Oh,
at this point.
absolutely. I mean, to be quite honest, I'm not a Sirianni fan at all. I think he's just
He's a bum.
he's an arrogant douchebag.
Yeah, he's
But
a Philly head coach.
yeah, the record speaks for itself. He's in his second Super Bowl as a head coach in what, like 3 years? Granted, they started off the season, didn't even know if they were going to make the playoffs, and they ripped off like 8 or 9 straight wins. It's insane.
And honestly, I've been saying it for a while now, but like Jalen Hurts without his offensive line is not as hype of a quarterback as he's made out to be.
No, not at all. I mean, you could put Daniel Jones back there with that kind of protection, those kind of weapons. He'd be talking like the next Eli Manning, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I think that's honestly the best comparison you could have done. Throw Danny Dimes in the mix and say like same division,
Hmm.
same competition, but put the offensive line that the Eagles had instead of the Giants and like success follows. I mean, Danny Dimes like sack ratio is insane, and that's not his fault.
I swear to God, he's gotten sacked at least like 300 times in his career, and he's been in the league 6 years, 7 years.
God,
So
has
that,
it really been that long?
yeah, he was the sixth overall pick in 2019.
Is that pre Josh Allen or post?
That is post Josh Allen. Josh Allen
Okay,
was
year
the
before, 2 years.
2018 draft class. Same
Yeah,
with Lamar. Man, talk about fucking bum ass draft classes though. That class had Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, and
Josh
Lamar
Rosen.
Jackson. And Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold were picked ahead of those guys.
Yeah, I remember Lamar was like 30th,
30,
32. Like
yeah,
he was one of the last
32nd,
picks in the first round.
last pick of the first round.
Yeah, he promised us a Super Bowl, and as a Ravens fan, drinking the Ravens Roost Porter, he ain't bringing us a Super Bowl.
Very nice.
Hot
No,
take
I
of the
mean,
day.
I don't definitely disagree. I think they definitely had a better shot this season than they have in the past. Ultimately it came down to two things. Justin Tucker couldn't hit the fucking left side of a barn in regular season, and then out
Yeah,
of
we would
nowhere
have had
just
home
starts.
playoff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it would have been a huge difference maker. But then out of nowhere just starts drilling field goals, and that also ties into the other reason, which is Mark Andrews with that drop. They would not have needed to go for two there if they had kicked a field goal earlier. Because remember, they had two failed 2-point attempts.
Yep.
So if they kicked the field goal, they would have just had to have Tucker come out there and kick another field goal.
I can't honestly like. I was distraught watching Mark Andrews drop that pass, but like, it's a 2 point conversion. So that,
Hmm.
granted, Mark Andrews also had a fumble. Like, can't deny that. But that first pick Lamar had in the first quarter, whatever it was, second quarter, was absolutely atrocious.
Yeah,
And I'll give my quarterback credit. Like he handled it with grace. Like it's a team loss. It's not a Mark Andrews loss. Like
yeah,
we do the right things all game. And that right there does not matter. We're not even going for two if we do the right things. Like we won the game on that play, on that touchdown score, if everything went according to plan before that. But just honestly, dude, I'm at a crossroads. Like, I know we planned for a different podcast, but we're on football. So, like, Super Bowl, I am at a crossroads who to root for. Don't want to see the Chiefs win. Like, you're in even
yeah,
worse of a boat. It's your division rival in the Super Bowl against the hated Chiefs and the refs.
yeah. No, I mean it's tough, but the thing that decided it for me is whichever team has a Virginia Tech player on it.
Mm,
I'm a big Virginia Tech fan, and the Chiefs have a cornerback, Chamari Connor, who was a
damn.
Hokie. So go
Damn,
Chiefs,
yeah, the
baby.
turkey's got to be on the Chiefs. Hey, at least there's talent from Tech in the NFL. UVA is a dime a dozen when it comes to football players in the NFL. I know they got a handful, and I'll
Oh,
catch some heat from my buddies shit talking them, but Tech has produced way more NFL talented football players than UVA has, I'm sure. I mean, take
UVA has
aside
some football
Teach and
legends, though.
Chris. Like,
I
yeah,
mean, you got to think about what was that? That guy Chris Long, and you met him,
yeah,
didn't you? You met him at a bar in Charlottesville.
yeah. Ironically enough, we played softball against him for a couple of years, and I hate to come on a podcast and like shit talk a local celebrity, but honestly, like after playing county league softball with like an NFL superstar,
Hmm.
I feel like they lose that like celebrity feeling. Like at that point, you're no different than me, my guy. Like you're playing county league softball in Albemarle County. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel the need of walking up to you and getting an autograph. Like yes, you are an amazing, talented player in the NFL, huge NFL IQ.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not to
You like
mention just
you see him in the public light, and you're like, dude, you're no different than I am. Like except
yeah.
for the fact of the matter that you have 20 times the NFL talent that I ever will. But
Plus, what he got like two Super Bowl rings, I think.
yeah, I mean, he's a great person too. Like with the Water
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Boys
Yeah.
initiative, and
Yeah.
he was one of the ones that he was getting paid so much he was taking his like game day salaries and donating them.
Yeah. No, I
So
mean
I
that's
mean,
what.
you really can't talk shit about a guy that has like that much common courtesy when he's making that much money. Like, but
Yeah, and I mean like he's also got a great pod. I don't know if you listened to. I think it's like fucking
green light,
Green Light. Yeah, it's such an awesome podcast. You
yeah.
know,
So
they really do a great job of like kind of like talking like football and just breaking the game down.
he's got so many good connections. I mean, there
Hmm.
he's got like all the so his team. I don't Cowboys. John Phillips, who's a tight end,
Hmm.
came out of UVA. The dude, he would drive like I think I might need some fact checkers on this. Call Zuckerberg, but um, he would drive like a dump truck to the games, like an hour and a half, 2 hours away, just to play county league softball. And I kid you not, this dude was hitting like you could put him in the Colorado Rockies stadium and he'd hit nukes.
Oh
This is
yeah.
an
Well, I mean,
NFL tight end playing baseball, softball, but still, like but he's got all of those guys on the pod and they're all so knowledgeable. Like it is a really good podcast. But like our
yeah.
softball team actually got mentioned on there. So our team name was B&B Electric because they sponsored our team because our buddy worked for them.
Hmm.
And they had like come out, they're like, dude, how the fuck do we lose to a bunch of electricians playing softball? And we're like, well, we only have one electrician and he's our catcher. So like that's how you lose. But he was like,
uh,
they called B&B Electric and like shit talked them like on a cold call phone call, thinking it was like our team and it was just a completely different business. It's
that's
fucking
fucking
hilarious.
hilarious, dude.
It really was. I mean, honestly, that team was the most fun team to play. Like they were out there having fun, like goofing around, not taking it seriously, where everybody else was going absolutely ham, and it was annoying. But
Yeah, man. You know, I remember growing up, my dad used to play in those beer league softball leagues, and he'd take me and my brothers to the game. He'd have us shag fly balls for $1, home runs for two. Fucking
oh,
best
there you
times,
dude, that's a good
best
deal.
times, bro. It was so
Yeah,
much fun.
that's good people watching too.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so the original podcast idea was breakfast foods. I feel like we at least have to kind of get on the topic a little bit. We can always steer back to sports because I haven't
Yeah,
done a sports
definitely.
pod in a while. But let's start with a basic question. Whether you're going out, whether you're cooking it at home or whatever, what is your go-to breakfast food?
Uh, gotta say, without fail, it's gotta be eggs. You know, there's just so much versatility with eggs. You can do eggs
Okay.
Benedict, scrambled eggs, do a sunny side up, fried egg. You know, my biggest thing, especially now that I've just started this new job, I'm up out of the house early in the morning. I'll just scramble up some eggs on a Sunday, put them in a Tupperware for the week, go make a
Oh,
fucking ham, egg, and cheese sandwich, put it in my lunchbox, take it to work with me. Easy as
that's
pie.
genius. Meal prep in the breakfast. I would have never thought of that, but that is smart. Like, yeah, eggs are something that, especially scrambled eggs, you could crack 8 eggs and
Hmm.
then portion them out for your week, and they taste fine heated up
Yeah.
again.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, I'll literally tell you, like 400 in the oven. You get like one of those like cookie sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Put eggs on top of that. 400 in the oven for like 15 minutes. Easiest breakfast ever. You just
Wait,
cut them
you
up,
just
put them.
You just crack the egg in the pan and put them in the oven.
Well, I don't crack them directly into the pan. I
You
crack
whisk
them
them
into
up in.
I crack them in a bowl and then whisk them up. I also
Okay.
mix in some egg whites just to get a little more like filler in there because like
Hmm.
10 eggs, 8, 10 eggs, you'd have to do like a fucking dozen to fill up the entire like 9 by 13 baking sheet. So add a little egg whites in there for some volume, get a little more protein in there. Super easy too. And then once I'm done, take them out of the oven, hit them with a little salt and pepper. I do a little bit of paprika too, like the color of it.
Okay. Yeah, get a little
Yeah,
red in there.
yeah. And then I just cut them up, put them in a Tupperware, take them to work with me.
You do hot sauce on eggs or salsa ever? Or
Yeah, gotta have. I'll dabble in ketchup from time to time, but like salsa is just so different. It's so good.
dude, I feel like eggs is a hot take for breakfast foods because there's so many. Like, I feel like especially like my immediate thought, because eggs are so universal and you have them with
Mhm.
almost every single pairing. Like, you get pancakes. What do you want on the side? Eggs.
Yeah, some
Like,
bacon,
that's just kind of how it is.
sausage.
But like,
Yeah,
yeah, I would go for like a sausage or a sausage, egg, and cheese bagel.
yeah. There you go.
But I'm not much of a cooker. I'm trying to get in the so you meal prep your eggs. I've
Yeah,
been seeing so many Instagrams of like breakfast burrito meal preps because you can just make five of
yeah,
them
yeah. No,
and
I
they're good
mean,
to go for the entire week.
there's so many great people out there who are just like posting these like great meal prep content videos on like Instagram and TikTok. This one guy that I follow, his name is like Stealth Health Fitness on Instagram. He posts a ton of great videos on like meal prepping food. He's got some great like breakfast burrito prep. He's got like a buffalo chicken burrito.
Damn.
It's so good.
Make me hungry even after Billy Jacks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like breakfast food podcast talking about getting hungry as hell now.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, we got eggs. So if you were to choose like we'll say a meat protein to go with your eggs. So let's say you're making an omelet. You're
Hmm.
putting bacon in it, sausage, or we'll go with a country ham.
See, now it depends on what kind of meal you're going for. For like a sandwich, I do ham, egg, and cheese because I can just load that thing up with ham.
Mm-hmm. You get like the sliced ham and just plop
Yeah,
it on there. Yeah.
yeah. For a bagel, gotta go sausage. Bacon is also pretty good. For an omelet, I feel like you could get away with all three of them, to be honest. You get one of those Colorado fucking Denver omelets. Those
Mm-hmm.
things are so good. There was a place when I went and visited my cousin down in Florida. They had like a breakfast skillet. It was like an omelet with like potatoes in like a little like fucking skillet. It was so good.
Dude, I think Bob Evans. Do you remember Bob Evans? Is that like
Yeah.
still a thing?
I honestly don't know. I know there was a Bob Evans by my parents' house.
Look it up.
Haven't seen one of them there in years. I know
Bob
they still have
Evans
the
down at the farm.
I know they still have the sides down over at the fucking grocery store there, mashed potatoes and mac and
So,
cheese.
so
So
I'm
good.
not mistaken. You're originally from Nova, right?
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
Leesburg, Virginia.
There's one in what's the distance from you to Manassas?
Man, that's a good like 40 minutes.
Damn. Well, there's one in Manassas, there's one in Stafford, and then one in Fredericksburg.
Hmm.
Also Chantilly and Woodbridge.
Yeah, still, I mean, a good 30, 40 minutes.
Damn, that's so unfortunate. I was a big Bob Evans fan because of the like. You do like Hardee's used to do one too, a breakfast bowl.
Yeah,
Like you just it's so easy. It's like you throw whatever the fuck you want in a bowl, you cook it, and then boom, you're done.
I mean, honestly, the first person to open a breakfast Chipotle is going to be a billionaire. I just want free meals for life and 10% of the proceeds.
Honestly, might have. I feel like McGackiesville is a pretty decent place to put a Chipotle with. Maybe I just open up. I guess you could just buy a franchise. That's how that
Hmm.
works.
Yeah.
I definitely don't have enough money to buy a
Oh,
franchise,
fuck
but like
no. I
get a
mean,
loan or something, and then open up a
especially
breakfast
since you
side of
just
it
hit the
too.
Hit the closing costs on your new house. Congrats, by the way. Real adult shit.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
appreciate it.
But
I
yeah,
I
man.
need some passive income now.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
I might have
Oh.
to go get some Cutco knives to start selling.
Ah. Oh, one of my brother's friends did that for a summer in high school. Walked around neighborhoods just selling those knives. My parents bought some of them.
Oh
Dude,
fuck yeah.
those are some quality ass knives. And like if you buy like a certain amount, you get like free sharpenings for life. You just send them off, they'll sharpen them up for you and good as new.
That's kind of crazy. I might
Yeah,
have to
man.
buy myself some Cutco knives. Started as a joke, turned into a good business
No,
proposition.
yeah. Like part of the sales pitch is he because get like a nice pair of kitchen shears with them. He literally took a penny and the kitchen shears and cut the penny in half.
What the heck? That seems a little
Yeah,
too dangerous.
dude, it's insane. Like they're literally like the highest quality product in terms of like cutlery, knives, scissors. It's insane.
Just thinking
You're,
about it, I don't know if I need that in my life. Last time I cooked in the kitchen, I cut my finger on a cheese grater, and then I cut my
ooh,
other finger on. You know how they have like vegetable choppers? You
yeah.
like put them in and you chop it down. There's like a setting where you can have like the slicer. So you like take the cucumber or the carrot and you like slice it. My
Oh, the
thumb is still
mandolin.
healing from that
Yeah,
thing.
dude, that shit, like cutting my finger on a cheese grater or like a mandolin like that is like such an awful like thought. Like
Hmm.
even just like thinking about it sends chills down my spine. I fucking would hate that.
It's honestly like one of the most unpopular, painful injuries. I mean, it seems so simple to like affect you, but it's always a finger or a
Mm,
fingertip, which is like the
mm,
most, I don't know, like sensed. You can
yeah,
sense everything with it. Like I
a lot
tried
of
to play
nerve endings.
Xbox when I had cut my finger, and like I couldn't play Xbox because my finger, like the thumb where I got
Yeah,
cut, it was just too painful.
yeah, no, and I mean like you see these chefs in these videos are like curling their fingers like this, and they're like right here, and they're not even cutting their fingers at all. It's
It's
insane.
insane, dude. Breakfast food. I'm trying to think of some. All right, actually, here's a hot take. We got pancakes, we got
Mm,
waffles, and we have
mm.
French toast. Start, bench, cut.
Ooh,
It's a tough one.
I think it really just comes down to the versatility. I think, they're all equally versatile. You could load them up with whatever. You get like chocolate chip pancakes or like a strawberry
Strawberry,
cinnamon
yep.
French toast, strawberry fruits, vegetable, whatever. No, you don't put vegetables on that stuff.
I
What the
mean,
fuck am I talking about?
you
I mean,
could throw a green
these
pepper on
vegans
there, I
might
suppose.
green peppers would be kind of gas. I'm not gonna lie, but like, you know what these vegans be doing?
Yeah, that's
Fucking
true.
dumb as hell. Yeah, in my personal opinion, I just gotta say I'm starting waffles. Chicken and waffles is one of my all-time favorites.
Done deal. Yep.
After that, I'd say bench pancakes, just another classic
Hmm.
food. So solid, so reliable. I could honestly tell you, like back in the day, whenever I'd go to IHOP, I'd get the Cinestack cinnamon pancakes and a side of French fries, and that would just get it done.
Pancakes with a side of fries.
Dude, don't sleep on the breakfast potatoes, bro.
I mean, I guess it's no different than getting like the
Hash
diced,
browns.
yeah, the diced
Yeah.
potatoes on the side. Yeah, I'd prefer a fry than at that point. I just feel weird, I guess, ordering it.
Yeah, and I mean like the other thing is like a lot of these restaurants when you go out for breakfast, they have like these home style potatoes and they're just
Yep,
fucking dog water. Like they're like not cooked enough, they're not seasoned at all,
yep.
barely dry, like I want a
You said it
potato,
best.
I want a
The
potato
seasoning.
that is seasoned as hell and crispy.
Did I kid you not? The best thing I've ever had, and this is, I don't. Have you frequent Harrisonburg too much? I could have sworn you had a buddy that went to like JMU where you would like visit during college.
I I had a few friends in at JMU. I was mostly sticking with CNU. I went out to Tech a few times, but that was just because
Okay,
my brother was there.
yeah, tech
But
guy
yeah,
then.
even going from my parents' house up in Leesburg to go to Virginia Tech, we'd stop over in Harrisonburg. So
There's
I'm
a there's
familiar.
there's a place called the Little Grill,
Uh,
and it's like a collective. So it's like a hole in the wall. Like employees pay like I don't know how it works. Like they get a share of the company just by working there. Some bullshit. Like they've closed down for issues like that and other
mm,
reasons. But like it was my wife's go to spot with all of her friends, and like it's kind of like a odd like I hate to say it like hot take because I know some of them listen, but like it's like a hippy dippy breakfast place. So like they don't really have anything for us like meat eaters. Like there's not like a meat lovers omelet or anything,
yeah, yeah.
but they have Cajun like house potatoes and
Oh,
or Cajun home fries. That's I guess the
yeah,
proper terminology. Those things are fire. Like they are actually seasoned to perfection. Sometimes they're not cooked like you said. Sometimes you're like looking at 50-50. They're cooked to
yeah,
perfection. The
yeah,
others are undercooked or overcooked. But like if they're seasoned right, I don't really give a shit if I get a couple of squishy ones.
yeah. No, and I mean, like you said, if they're seasoned, you can have squishy, cooked, crispy. I mean, seasoning makes so
Squishy
much
cooked
difference.
crispy, dude. I'm gonna have to use that for radio ad. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and I
Squishy
mean,
not crispy.
the other big thing is like if I'm having potatoes, I don't want to have to like coat them in like a hot sauce or a ketchup just so they taste good, you know?
Right. I'm big on that too. Like I'm honestly uber against ketchup with my breakfast for some odd reason. I think it's because I rely on the salsa. Like I feel like it's just like a perfect combination. Sometimes I'll get like a pineapple salsa, so it has like
Oh,
pineapple chunks in it, and that's
yeah.
really good with like eggs. It gives you a little extra zing, I guess. But I feel like you said it best. Like I feel like go to would be eggs. It's the easiest to prepare. It's the
It's
most
the most
versatile.
versatile, yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like eggs are kind of eggs can be a main, but they can be a side. Every other breakfast food really can't be a main or a side.
Yeah,
I'm not just gonna have bacon for breakfast. I need something else with my bacon.
exactly. You're not just gonna have, toast. You're gonna have, toast with a side of like fruit or something. Are you gonna
So
have like,
you mentioned toast.
yeah,
This is a good question to ask on the podcast. Is regular bread raw bread? Like, what is that? Quite, you know what I'm getting at? Like,
hmm
people say toast isn't. I don't know. I guess yeah, you'd say bread is just raw bread. Is that an actual thing, or is it just bread?
Well, toast by itself is just, a piece of bread that's been toasted. Doesn't necessarily have to be, just like a piece of bread fresh out of the bag. Um, I really do think that toasting is super important, especially when it comes to like going and getting like a breakfast platter at like Waffle House or going out for brunch and getting some toast. You got to have a good toast on it, and you got to have some good butter too. Like if you're getting, just a regular old piece of bread smeared with butter, it's probably not going to be as good. But if you get it like crispy, a little crunchy, toast is good. Toast is
Yeah,
solid.
I'm a big toast guy. Like I have a hack where you put the bread in the toaster
Hmm.
and then you put that toast with your butter. Like if you don't have like spreadable butter, you
Uh huh.
put the like you'd cut up the stick of butter and you'd put your pieces of butter, however much you want, on the bread. You put it in the oven, you turn it
Hmm.
on broil, and it doesn't affect the bread whatsoever, but it heats it up enough to melt that butter to where
Okay.
it's smearable.
Okay. That's a pretty solid
But
hack.
honestly, smearable butter is way better than a stick of butter. Like
Yeah.
there's like an
Yeah.
Irish cream butter. I don't know what brand
Oh
that
yeah,
is.
the carries.
Yes, that is the
Yeah.
best butter I've ever had.
It's the gold standard of butter.
Unless they
Um,
bring Lando Lakes back, but I don't think that's socially appropriate anymore.
no, not at all. But speaking of toast hacks, I got one that I've actually been doing recently. And this might sound a little odd, but you
Okay.
keep your bread in the fridge so it firms up a little bit.
Okay.
And then you put it in the toaster, toasts perfectly every single time.
Hmm. I guess maybe because the refrigerator like cools it down
Yeah, cools
to
it
where like
down,
it's all
keeps
like
it
a
a little,
consistent profile. I
yeah,
don't know.
cools it down, keeps it a little firm. You know, it's not going to get smushed like it is if you have it in the pantry. And then it just like because it has to like warm up evenly, it cooks evenly. It's perfect. I don't understand it. I just discovered that because I ran out of fucking room in my pantry and I had to put the bread in the fridge and it was like, oh shit, all right.
I actually know people that like religiously keep their bread in the fridge. Like
Also,
oddly
also,
enough,
also helps it last longer. Like I had a loaf of
maybe that's
bread.
why.
I bought it on like a Sunday. It was fucking crusty dusty by Friday. I was like, what the fuck? I just bought this.
Yeah, seriously. Honestly, that's why I don't buy bread. Like I would eat toast every day, but I feel like if I
Hmm.
bought bread, I would only eat toast like twice a week, and then the whole like half a loaf, 3/4 of the loaf goes to waste.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the biggest thing that the bread companies need to start doing is stop including those fucking busted ass end pieces.
Oh yeah, yeah, I mean that makes the most sense. You don't have to include them. They have to package the bread
Hmm.
in that bag. Like bread does not get made in that bag. Just take the fucking elephant feet out of the package. I mean,
Yeah, no, I mean, to
that's
be
a good
honest,
point.
I don't know anyone in their right mind who uses that for anything other than fucking like smushing a spider or just throwing that bitch out. I will say
Smushing
this
a
though. I
spider.
will say this though. This is something my dad did because raising three boys, you're not gonna have a whole lot of picking for food. So
Hmm.
sometimes, whenever there's some leftovers, he'd take those end pieces. They're great for like scooping and dipping shit. That's
Okay.
about it though. Like you're not gonna go and make a sandwich with one of those things. Your mouth's gonna be dry as hell. But like if you get
Yeah.
like some fucking leftover spaghetti sauce with some like ground beef up in there, just scoop that up in there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a pro
I,
move from Chuck
I
Yeager
like
right
your
there.
thing, dude. This is why I love having you on the pod because you bring in the personal antecedents. Like bringing up that this is a hack that your dad had. Like that's something
Yeah.
that everybody else can listen to and be like, "Holy shit, I've been throwing away the end pieces for years." Thanks, Jake, for telling me that your dad used to do this. Like I'm not gonna throw them away anymore. I'm about to
Yeah,
save
I mean,
them.
it wasn't like he was doing it all the time, but whenever we had something left over in the fridge, he would just grab one of those, use that for like a dipper or scooper, just make
That's
a
genius. You know
quick
what I'm bringing
bite
to the
out of
Super
that.
Bowl party
Yeah.
this year? I'm bringing the ends of my bread.
Oh,
Potluck.
I will say though, the ends of garlic bread, like you get like a nice loaf of garlic bread, the
Hmm.
ends are super underrated.
I would agree with that. They're also like the crispiest piece that they
Hmm.
have in there. So like
Yeah,
that makes it the best. Yeah.
exactly.
All right, close out breakfast food for this one. Um as like a holistic breakfast. Like you could tell me IHOP combination 5 breakfast burrito from McDonald's. Like what would be your top 3 breakfast meals if like cost, location, whatever is not an issue?
Oh, let's see. Number one got to be the Waffle House Scramble Bowl.
Oh,
It's a
that's a good one.
bowl. They put a big old fucking hash brown on the bottom, loaded up with like ham, bacon, sausage, eggs on top of that, and then cheese on top of that. It's like a big ass bowl of food. So good, so slept on. Go to Waffle House. Um, Number two, gotta be Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit. Just
Okay, good one.
undefeated in a league of its own. I
Hmm.
was playing in a golf tournament 2 years ago. They had catered Chick-fil-A biscuits for breakfast for all the golfers. I took like six of them, just stuck them in the golf cart, ate them all throughout the
Fuck
day.
yeah.
Dude, it was great. Um, mm.
You got two like takeouts as your one and two. Nothing like I mean, I feel like you can't go out and get in it. I'm not a big egg benedict fan. I have had some good ones,
Yeah.
but it's not my go-to.
No, I mean, with Eggs Benedict too, you're not really paying for the food, you're paying for the experience. Because
Right.
places that have Eggs Benedict are going to be like a sit down, nice kind of restaurant where you're spending some time, probably having a few mimosas.
Yep.
It's not about the food, it's about the experience.
Yeah, and how I guess the cost honestly goes into how you have to prepare an eggs Benedict. I mean, I
Yeah,
think that's a tedious one.
yeah. I mean, especially with some hollandaise sauce, that's a pain in the ass to make.
Yeah, which honestly I enjoy a nice hollandaise sauce. I don't know
Hmm.
what the hell goes into it, but it does taste pretty decent.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's just like, damn, it takes a long ass time to make it.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, number three,
Ooh, number three. Doesn't really matter from where. Doesn't really
chicken and
matter.
waffles.
Chicken and waffles, gotta
All
be.
right.
You know, my girlfriend got me a fucking Black and Decker panini press for Christmas that has pop out little grill plates. So you get like a little panini plate, and then you can pop it out, throw a waffle maker in there. We did homemade chicken and waffles last week. Just the
Mm,
fucking like Food Lion brand waffle batter, and then fucking
hmm.
Dino Nuggets, all the same, just as
Dude,
good.
that's genius. Oh my gosh, you got to sprinkle some like brown sugar on the chicken, even if
Yeah,
it's Dino Nugs, a little brown sugar on that thing. Oh my gosh, with the syrup, and then you get the waffle with it. That's perfect. Yeah.
dude, I was at my buddy's wedding back a month ago, and we were at an Airbnb the entire wedding party. And one of the days we just decided to cook up, like a big breakfast for everybody. I was on bacon duty. My friend was on the eggs duty. I just cooked the bacon, did a little bit of
Hmm.
cinnamon sugar on top of it. Everybody loved it. It was all gone within like 3 minutes.
That's fire. What's your opinion on a first watch?
First wash is good, a little pricey, but you're getting a good amount of food, you're
Because
getting
they
good
have that like
drinks.
$1 million bacon, right? Like that's their thing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I've tried. Have we tried the $1 million bacon for first watch? We liked it. Yeah. I mean, I
You
don't
gotta get
remember.
confirmation.
I don't remember. I was fucking off the mimosas at first watch when we had that, but like first watch, it's a good vibe. You got to get
I
there at the
agree.
right time, otherwise you're gonna be waiting all fucking day. But they have pretty good food, pretty good drinks. That $1 million bacon, try it.
Yeah, I ironically enough have only been to First Watch one time, and it was when I visited seeing you again.
Hmm.
I guess my but you remember Bobby Salazar?
Yeah, yeah.
So Bobby stayed that year because his now wife was still in the teachers program, so she
Right,
had like
right.
a
Yeah,
fifth year, we'll call it. So I had come down to visit for that, and then
hmm,
Jared was still living down there. So
yeah.
Jared and I got breakfast at First Watch. I was way too hungover to eat anything else, but we split $1 million bacon, and that's like my
I've
only First Watch experience.
I've been there. We went to first watch for my girl's birthday after we had a party for her, fighting for my life. Came home and slept for like 4 hours.
When completely off topic, but when did you and your girlfriend start dating? I saw your post the other day, like 2 years or a year or
Yeah,
whatever.
no, I mean, 2 years ago, I mean, we started talking sophomore year. Um, just kind of
So
stayed
she's seeing
friends.
you.
Yeah, she was a year below us. We just started talking, kind of stayed friends, and then like 2 years ago, I just kind of shot my shot, and the rest is history.
Hell yeah, I love to hear it,
Yes,
dude. I
sir.
haven't like officially met her. I've gotten to like talk, like we talk pretty regularly or whatever.
Yeah,
So like it feels like I know her, and like
yeah,
once you graduate, like, and me and Jared played games for a hot minute together. So like we had that
yeah,
friendship going, and then of course shoe lane in college or whatever. But like once college ends, and yeah, we talk pretty regularly. It feels like time literally moves. Like for a week, it's actually a month.
yeah, dude. I mean, we're coming up on 4 years of being out of college. We are coming up on being out of college for as long as we were in college.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah,
I don't know how we did it, honestly.
fucking miracle.
I mean, we both got jobs. We're both
Hmm.
employed, so like,
Yeah.
I guess we can't really complain. But
No, no, we cannot. No, I'll take
shit's
it.
wild.
Oh, wish I had more money, but fuck's that
Yeah,
gonna happen?
you and me both. Hey, you're not married yet, so you still got the
No.
wedding to have to worry.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. That's a little bit away though.
Yeah, well, it'll come. I mean, honestly, like I feel like what like my wife and I when we did wedding planning, this might even have to be a whole new podcast, but like when we did wedding planning, we did like prioritizing what mattered most. Like
Mhm.
almost like a spreadsheet. We didn't really do a spreadsheet, but you have to say like, okay, we really don't care about flowers because flowers are going to die the next day.
Yeah.
Let's pay less on that. Okay, we really care about the memory of like pictures and photography. Like we'll pay more on that.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's super expensive when you say the absolute number out loud, but like you can have a wedding for 10 grand to like 15,
Mhm.
which honestly, for like hosting a ginormous party for 7 hours
Yeah.
for 100 people, 200, 150, it doesn't sound too bad.
No, I mean if you do things right, you're able to get a pretty decent time for not a whole lot of money. You know, my buddy's wedding that was at, I think they wound up spending like 20 on the whole thing.
Which is 90% the venue, I'm sure. Venue
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
food are like
I
the
mean,
worst things to have to
they
pay
had
for.
they had a great venue though. Like the venue took care of so much for them that they just really
If
only
you could,
had to like make the decisions about, like colors or
yeah,
what they wanted the catering to be. Everything else was taken care of by the vendors, the venue.
that's my advice to people getting married. Like, it's more expensive because of the one price. Like, they're like, we do food, venue, and drinks, and it
Hmm.
looks super expensive, but it'll all be the same once you do it like venue, okay, separate food, separate this. Like,
Yeah,
if they can
yeah,
do it all, fucking do it because it's one
yeah.
person, one contact that you have to worry about who handles three different aspects, which are the
Hmm.
biggest aspects of the entire day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that was the same thing they did for their honeymoon. They just did an all-inclusive trip to Fiji, man. They had a blast. Like, they also bought that shit through Costco Travel. Got
Dude, that's super
hella
smart.
cash back on their Costco card. Yeah.
That's genius. Hell yeah. I feel like this honestly might be one of the best podcasts Evan Rambles is going to have.
Ah. We did do a lot of rambling. We went from fucking sports to breakfast to talking about weddings now, bro. We're just all over the place.
Yeah, no, it definitely was all over the place, but like that's why we changed the name to Evan Rambles. If it was
Yes,
Evan
sir.
Rants, we would have had to sit here for 30 minutes and strictly talked about breakfast food. This way, it's like an open forum.
Yeah, it's been a good pod. Can't
Works
complain.
out well. You got any closing remarks?
Oh, shit. All I gotta say is baseball's almost back. It's gonna be a fun time. Fuck the Dodgers.
Yep.
Uh, Fantasy baseball is gonna be coming up. I think we're gonna be back in a league together. Might have to do a
Yep.
pod on that. That could be fun.
Very happy about that. If you have it, if you got any buddies that would want to play, like definitely throw their name in the hat because not everybody in that group chat is playing again. I know that for certain.
Definitely, yeah. And yeah, I guess one last closing remark is just fucking have a drink, man. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Just have a drink.
Dilly dilly to that. Cheers to that one, my God. That's a great way to end the podcast. We'll stick with positivity. Cheers to another Evan Rambles episode. Cheers to Jake popping on the podcast. Hopefully, we get more of you. Maybe we can have a I always say this on the solo podcast, maybe we can get like a monthly pod going. What would be ideal, because I can have more than one guest. It'd be a
Hmm.
little crazy like doing it all virtually, but you, me, and Jared having
Yeah,
like a reunion podcast,
that'd be pretty tight. Yeah,
talk about college stories and fucking what we're doing now, all the 9 yards would be ideal.
we should do a Marcus King pod.
That'd be a good idea too. Did I ever send that text? I was gonna text Jared and say, "Hey, dude, like, I know I'm giving you that ticket, but like, if he
Hmm.
wants to, and like, I guess he'd have to pay for the ticket. I'd be more than willing to like split it with him if it meant coming
Yeah,
up because like he's got travel and stuff. But like, y'all could carpool at that point. Like, y'all are pretty close. I got the room if he wants to come too. Like, reunion for Marcus King.
yeah. No, we could definitely talk to him about that. I don't think you mentioned it to him, but
All
yeah,
right,
it'd
I
be
was
pretty tight.
probably buzzed when I was thinking about it and
Yeah.
then thought I sent a text. But
Oh,
hell yeah. Well, again, I appreciate you coming on. Honestly, one
yeah.
of the best podcasts. I'm gonna put it as top podcast of 2025 as of right
There we
now.
go. There we go.
And hopefully see more of you, my guy.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Take it easy now.
Hell yeah, this has been Evan Rambles, and we will see ya in the next one. Me outie.